What's up, YouTube world? This is Steven again, and it's currently 11:53 a.m. on October 15th of 2023, and I would like to welcome you all to my 7th book review. Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. If you don't want any spoilers, leave now. If you're still here, well, that's your fault. So Mr. Mercedes starts off with a guy named Augie Odenkirk, and he meets a woman named Janice Cray and her daughter Patty inside of in a long line of job seekers who are there for job interviews at a place called City Center, and they're offering thousands of jobs to people during the recession or the Great Depression or something like that. What they don't know is that a guy in a gray Mercedes named Brady Hartsfield is going to kill a bunch and injure a bunch more in that line that day. He ends up killing 8, and I think he ends up injuring 15. And months down the line, Bill Hodges, aka Kermit William Hodges, finds out about the Mercedes killer right before he attempts to commit suicide. He's been suicidal during that time because he's a retired police officer at the time. And then he finds out about the Mercedes killer, aka Brady Hartsfield, which he doesn't know his name just yet. He just refers to himself as the Merce killer, short for Mercedes. And he ends up receiving that letter in the mail. And then he's like, okay, I gotta figure out who sent this, because I guess he found out about the Mercedes killing, or that mass killing at the city center. But either way, he wants to figure out about how that went about. So he interviews a lady named Olivia Trelawney, who is the owner of the Mercedes, and pretty much asks her, why did he steal your Mercedes? How did he steal your Mercedes? Along with his partner. I forget his partner's name, or former partner, I should say. But she ends up, I guess, grief-stricken, and then she ends up committing suicide because she is so grief-stricken over the Mercedes, over the Mercedes getting stolen. And later on, Brady invites William Hodges, or Bill Hodges, under Debbie's Blue Umbrella. It is a website, and there's a blue umbrella on the front cover, by the way, if you didn't notice. And it's kind of a chat site, kind of like what AOL Instant Messenger was. And it's a chat site, and you get to friend different people and have chats with them and stuff like that. So Brady Hartsfield's Blue Umbrella name is Merce Killer, or MERC Killer, and he gave Bill Hodges his own, and it is Kermit Frog 19 is Bill Hodges' username. And they go back and forth and message each other because Bill wants to get an idea of how Brady words certain things. For example, perp, short for perpetrator, he says as perk. So P-E-R-P, Brady Hartsfield spells P-E-R-K. So stuff like that. He capitalizes certain words. He words certain things in a certain way. And yeah, he's trying to get a feel of how he uses sentences, how he spells out some numbers, and when he puts down an actual number for a number. And Brady pretty much says that he really enjoyed killing all of those people at City Center, and he said he doesn't feel like doing it again, when in reality, some people lie in letters. In reality, that was a lie. He would do it again in a heartbeat, and I'll get to that soon. So Brady Hartsfield gets that letter. Meanwhile, Olivia Trelawney gets a more sympathetic letter and says that he's sorry that he did it, and pretty much in the letter he goes through his struggles when he was a kid, and how he lived in a very abusive household and stuff like that. So in turn, Olivia Trelawney is the one who commits suicide instead, because she's grief stricken of all those people getting killed with her Mercedes that Brady Hartsfield stole. And in the meantime, Brady is working at a place called Discount Electronics, or DE, and he's working as an ice cream man, driving an ice cream truck for Loeb's Ice Cream. And he meets Brady Hartsfield's, I guess, groundskeeper Jerome, and he sells ice cream to him and his little sister Barbara, I think it is. And and then he notices that they have a dog named Odell. So what he wants to do, since he's a racist guy in the book, he uses the N word a lot. And so what he wants to do is kill their dog using some poison called Gopher Go. And what he does is he wants to put it inside of hamburger meat, or a raw hamburger patty, and feed it to the dog. And instead, what he does is, when he goes back home, his mom, by the way, is an alcoholic, and she's usually passed out on the couch or just drinking alcohol straight from the bottle or something like that. And she usually watches reality shows like Survivor and stuff like that. And what he does is he gets the Gopher Go that he wants from the hardware store, and he puts it inside of a raw hamburger patty or a hamburger ball, and is going to feed it to Odell the next day or soon. When in reality, when he gets home from his job with either Loeb's Ice Cream or Discount Electronics, he finds out that his mother actually ended up eating the hamburger patty that the Gopher Go was in, and she starts, throwing up. She starts bleeding and stuff. Starts, I guess, convulsing. Her hands start to turn to claws and stuff like that. And she eventually died from the Gopher Go tainted hamburger meat. And so that was when they being Bill and Janie, who is actually they're both in love with each other later on in the book. It's about halfway through the book. Attend Olivia's funeral. Yeah, Olivia's funeral, because Olivia is Janie's sister. And then what Brady, I had a brain fart there for a second. What Brady wanted to do for revenge for his mother's death is he wanted to hotwire Bill's car. There's so many characters here, so bear with me. Brady wanted to hotwire Bill's car so it would explode, but in reality, he is riding with Janie's cousin Holly, who is featured later in the book around the time when they get to the funeral. And so Janie is driving Bill's truck now, and Bill is riding with Holly. And so Bill's car explodes with Janie in it, so Janie ends up dying instead of Bill. And Bill tells Jerome, his groundskeeper, to pretty much send Brady a message through the Brew umbrella saying, "You missed me." And that was when Brady really lets out all of his anger and goes completely insane. And what he wants to do to get revenge is that he knows there is a concert by the band Round Here at the MAC. I forget what it stands for. I guess a little bit later on. So he buys a ticket, and they're wondering whether they're being Holly, Bill, and Jerome. They're working together at this point. Are wondering whether he's going to the MAC to that concert, or if he's going to be attending another job fair, I think in an Embassy Suites. And while Bill Hodges is searching for clues around the house, he hears Jerome scream no, and they look at the email where he as in Brady ordered a ticket to the Round Here concert at the MAC. And they think they were wrong all along, that he was going to attack another job fair at the Embassy Suites, but he's really going to blow up the MAC with all those people inside of it. And, he had a lot of explosives. He bought a wheelchair and got a lot of explosives and hotwired whatever was on the, he had like a suicide vest or something. So it was pretty much a suicide mission for him with a bunch of people in the MAC attending the Round Here concert. So what Jerome wants to do is get there as fast as he can because his sister and a few of her friends and his mom are actually attending the Round Here concert. So he wants to get there as soon as possible. And Holly is I forgot to mention about Holly. Holly's a smoker. She is really just, I guess, in her words, crazy or mentally unstable or whatever. And she sees this shrink, and I wanted to just get to a little bit about Holly. Let's get back to the story. So the way it works is they have to go around the back because exit 3B, I think, is what Jerome wanted to take, was through the front. A security guy eventually lets them through the back when they say they're police, even though they're not. And he finds out, and he says he's going to call the actual police. And Jerome's saying, "Do whatever you want. We're going to get this guy." And but Bill tells them that it needs to be them. It can't be him because Brady knows what Bill looks like, and if he sees Bill, he's going to activate the bomb and blow up the place. So Holly takes Bill's happy slapper, as he calls it, and just whacks Brady upside the head twice, and his head kind of caves in. And Jerome is holding his hands, and while Holly defuses the bomb, and they defuse the bomb, the yellow light goes off that where the bomb is activated before it turns green, and then Barbara and Tanya, I think is Barbara's and Jerome's mom, gets all the girls and them out before the bomb goes off, which it didn't because Holly managed to deactivate it. And after that, Brady was kind of having a heart attack or a heart attack-like event. So he kind of fades out and he passes out. And then he ends up waking up in the hospital with a pacemaker. And his partner says that was wondering why he decided to do something like that when he was a retired cop, when he wasn't in the active force anymore. And then Bill says that he was doing the right thing. And later on, Jerome and Holly end up receiving a Medal of Honor for what they did, which was really awesome, I thought. And then towards the end of the book, they end up having a picnic at a park on a kind of warm October day in 2011, I think. And pretty much they say that they get free bus ride. Jerome and Holly at least get free bus rides and free museum visits, which go along with their Medal of Honor. And Hodges is free of all charges, which I thought was great. And then at the very end of the book, when Brady woke up from his coma, he was in a coma from getting hit in the head twice by Holly. He woke up and he spoke to the nurse, and the nurse let the doctor know, what did he tell you? And the nurse said that he has a headache and that he wants his mother, who is in fact dead, but Brady doesn't know it because he's kind of brain damaged. So that was pretty much Mr. Mercedes in a nutshell. So what did I think about the book? I thought the book was actually pretty good. However, I did read the second of the Bill Hodges trilogy first, which was Finders Keepers, and I actually liked Finders Keepers more than I liked Mr. Mercedes, because with the actual action-y stuff and thrilling stuff, there was a lot of build-up towards each one. For example, like the hamburger meat with the gopher go inside it. There was a lot of build-up to that. There was a lot of build-up to defusing the bomb at the MAC. The only thing that didn't have a lot of build-up was the very beginning when the gray Mercedes with Brady Hartsfield driving rammed into the line at the city center. But there was just a lot of build-up to all of the exciting stuff for me to give it a 5 out of 5. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being highest, Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King is going to be getting a 4.5 from me. I really enjoyed it. There was just too much build up to all the exciting stuff, and it kind of bored me until it got to the exciting stuff. But other than that, it was still a really good book. But I'm going to be reading maybe End of Watch next, which is the third of the Bill Hodges trilogy. I'm not sure. I might read Night Shift, but either way, I'm going to be reading something else and doing another book review to that. But that is my book review for today. Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. If you liked what you saw in this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and comment below. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. This is Steven signing out.